Yo, what's up guys, John Boogle here. Here we are with the Li'l Mohawk in-depth guide. This level is very similar to Manic Mohawk, so keep some things in mind from that guide in this one, and you should be pretty fine. It's not too much of a difficult level. So here we are with the lineup. Of course, with these little cats there is restrictions on all of the levels, which is the 4-star restriction with specials and rares only. And this is the lineup here. The only difficult part in this lineup is finding your stallers, and if you do have Little Eraser, then I do highly recommend using that. But other than that, this is the only hard part of the lineup, is finding stallers to fill in some of the holes, because with this restriction on rares and specials, it might be just a bit difficult to find some stallers. I mean, you can always use ramen as a staller and rice ball, but those can get pretty expensive. And of course, the main man, Thaumaturge. This is really the ultimate unit for this stage. Outranges the Mohawk and it weakens Mohawk, so it is super helpful. If you don't have Thaumaturge, you can use Cyborg as well, but you won't get that nice weaken on Thaumaturge. So I recommend using Thaumaturge over Cyborg. And if you happen to have a certain unit by the name of Vendor Cat, you can use that as well. It's just going to be quite difficult to manage the knockbacks for the Li'l Mohawk, because knocking it back too much can be a very big downside if there is Master A's or Professor A's behind the Mohawk. Speaking of Professor A, the main man against the Professor A is of course Prisoner Cat. This time it's going to be a lot easier to take down the Professor A than it is to take down Master A and Manic Cat, is because Professor A is strong against red units, so it can do a lot of damage. Mina, also make sure you do bring Mina for that extra LD, take out the teacher bears and also do some damage on the Professor A's. The rest is just Legend Cat filler, so Little Neandum, Bahamut, Running Wolf, make sure you do have them at level 30. Power-ups, you don't necessarily need any power-ups, but it's nice to bring Sniper just in case. And if you want to not stall in this battle at all, you can bring CPU. That's both are optional power-ups, you do not need them. But let's hop into the level. Once again, it's very similar to Manic Mohawk, so in the beginning here, of course, we're going to stack as much Prisoner Cats as we can. And you don't necessarily need to stack Minas as well, but if you want to, go ahead, but absolutely make sure you do stack Prisoner Cats and make sure you have a decent amount of them. As you can see here, it does get a bit troublesome when you try to stall with Little Wall. If you do get to the situation where you're getting pushed back in your base way too hard and there's too many peons, you can use Thaumaturge and weaken them. Then you should be fine and you should be able to stack up prisoners. And Rice Ball is really helpful here. Having a low level Rice Ball is nice in this level because you can use that to stall and not kill the peons too quickly. But our Rice Ball is too high, so we're using a Little Ball and Thaumaturge to stack instead. And once again, you do not need to stack as much as you would in Manic Mohawk, because this time it's a Professor A. So Prisoner Cat does a lot more damage towards Professor A rather than Master A. So just stack up 4 to 6 Prisoner Cats. That should be way more than enough, and that should be able to handle Professor A very nicely. But of course, once you're ready, of course, push towards the base with your stack. Make sure you start stalling early. You do not want all your prisoners to just die in the beginning. Slow Beam is pretty nice for this level because having that Sniper Cat, we brought Sniper Cat, and having that weaken, it is very easy to crowd control Li'l Mohawk if you don't have enough stallers. But it's pretty much the same thing as Manic Mohawk. Once you kill these two enemies here, the Professor A and the Teacher Bear, that's when it's absolutely safe to turn on CPU and just let the level play out. Now if you're using Sniper Cat power up, another key thing to take note here is the same thing as Manic Mohawk. Running Wolf does tend to knock back Li'l Mohawk a lot, So, well, it pretty much is based on RNG, but having that thaumaturge weaken Mohawk constantly and letting your Running Wolf get constant hits on Li'l Mohawk, you will knock back Li'l Mohawk, sometimes way too far back, and if you have Sniper on as well, that can also be knocking back Mohawk a bit too far, and that's when your cats start moving into Mohawk's range. So to avoid this, you want to, if you are using Sniper, turn it off if you do start pushing into Mohawk's attack, and if your Running Wolf is knocking back Mohawk too much, that is just RNG and you'll have to deal with it somehow. That's why having thaumaturge is so nice in this level, because even if your cats start moving into Mohawk's attacks, Li'l Mohawk will be weakened by thaumaturge, so they will take a lot less damage. They'll be able to get knocked back and be in a position where they're safe again. But of course, you can always do it the other way and let Mohawk push forward a bit, so stop stalling, let Mohawk push forward a bit, and then you can start going full force again. But that's really the only thing you need to look out for in this level. The rest is just CPU and waiting for the fight to end, and that can take a while depending on your levels on your legends, so make sure you do have level 30 legends for this. And thaumaturge is really a nice one to have, but if you want to risk it and use Cyborg instead, you can as well, and that'll be a lot faster, but it'll be a lot more difficult to crowd control Mohawk, so keep that in mind. Hell, you can even go wild and replace Running Wolf completely so you won't have to worry about too many knockbacks. Take Sniper and put Cyborg and thaumaturge in your lineup. That can maybe work as well. But yeah, very simple level, very easy as well. It's really not that difficult. All you need to make sure is to stack enough prisoners in the beginning, and you won't need to stack too much like you would in Manic Mohawk, because this time it's a Professor A, so you only need like 4 to 6 prisoner cats. That should be more than enough. Then all you need to make sure after that is the whole knockback thing I was talking about. Then it's just CPU and wait for the thing to die. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up the Li'l Mohawk in-depth guide. Drop a like if this guide did help you out. Subscribe if you're new. Join the hashtag Boogle gang. Make sure to check the description below for the limited Discord invite. So make sure you guys go check that out. It is limited. It will expire soon. Other than that, enjoy a useless little cat that you won't use at all probably. But hey, you gotta chase those meow medals. But yeah, that's it guys. It's been John Boogle, and see ya.